Time now for your forewarned weather with Cedric Haynes.
All right, happy Tuesday, everyone. Let's talk about your temperatures as you get ready to head out the door. We've got 28 degrees up towards Cache Valley, low to mid 30s here along the Wasatch Front, upper 20s in portions of the Wasatch back. We've got temperatures into low to mid to upper 30s down towards the southern half of the state with those 40s showing up across far southern Utah. So there's a boundary in place. It's the one that moved through yesterday, right? So it came through as a cold front. It stalled down south, and now it's going to be lifting back to the north as a warm front today. So areas along and south of I-80 likely get into the low to mid 50s for highs with mid to upper 60s down towards the far south. Meanwhile, if you're north of I-80, you're likely going to hover into those upper 40s to right around 50 degrees, again, for us as we go throughout this afternoon. That same boundary will be the potential mechanism to kick off a couple of scattered showers this afternoon as well, primarily along and north of I-80. So here's the weather map this morning. We've got those clouds in place. Notice those clouds really extend back down, and you can see an area of low pressure off of the California coast. That is pulling up a atmospheric river, and we're going to be tapping into that here as we go throughout the next 48 hours. So it looks like we're going to see a decent amount of moisture moving across the Beehive State. So as we look at your weather system heading our way, on average, the valleys look to pick up about 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch of rainfall. Again, that's on average, which means there are going to be some spots, especially across northern Utah, where some areas could pick up to 1/2 inch of rainfall out of the system. Meanwhile, the mountains, most mountain locations picking up about 6 to 12 inches of snow on average, but there are going to be the potential up to 15 inches as you get up towards the upper Cottonwoods, the Bear River Range, and then maybe more like 2 to 5 or 6 inches there as you get more towards the southern mountains outside of Bryan Head and the Tushars. Most of the moisture, the main atmospheric river event, looks to occur as we progress throughout your Wednesday. So let's time it all out for you with Futurecast here as we take you hour by hour. That boundary lifting to the north will spark off a few isolated valley rain showers, mountain snow showers. This is not the main event, but it could produce some spotty precipitation as we get into this afternoon across northern Utah, so be aware of that. The main event looks to arrive as we head into your Wednesday morning. That's when we're likely going to be seeing widespread valley rainfall pockets and some widespread mountain snowfall pockets. And notice some of the darker blues and the yellows and reds, so that means the potential of some heavier precipitation will be possible as we make our way throughout your Wednesday off and on. It won't completely be a washout, but there will be off and on rounds of precipitation, valley rain, and mountain snow throughout the day, and that will linger as we get on the backside of this system into your Thursday, working its way from northwest to southeast Thursday and the Thursday night before it all kind of wraps up Friday morning. We'll get a break heading into the weekend with dry conditions looking likely for the weekend, but we'll be in between systems because the next one will be on approach by the time we kick off next week. So as wind and weather potential goes for the rest of this week, again, this is primarily going to be targeting the mountain locations where we'll see that potential of 8 to 15 inches of snow for the upper Cottonwoods, maybe portions of the Bear River Range, and then 6 to 12 inches should cover the rest of the northern mountains. Otherwise, about 6 to 12 inches for parts of the southern mountains as you get towards Bryan Head and the Tushars, but more like 2 to 6 inches outside of those areas above about 8,000 feet. Either way, winter weather advisories in effect for the northern mountains, the Wasatch Plateau, and the Book Cliffs, as well as the central and southern mountains for potential travel difficulties over the next couple of days. As I mentioned, about 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch on average, but there are going to be some pockets of heavier rainfall. And look at the winter weather potential heading into next week. That map really starts to blossom across most of the western half of the country, including here in the Beehive State, where we could start to add up some significant snow totals for our mountain locations, and even the potential of some lower elevation snow totals starting to show up there on the map. So the trend continues to be colder and a wetter pattern continuing into next week. So stay tuned for more on that. St. George, upper 60s turn into the low 60s. Showers likely Wednesday into early Thursday. Otherwise, we dry it out for the weekend before that next system arrives next week. The Wasatch Front, scattered showers today. Rain showers likely as we go into your Wednesday, tapering off early Thursday. A dry weekend before our next storm system approaches heading into next week. All right, let's get a check on your traffic this morning as we get you out the door. You'll be able to see as we look at I-80 here. This is at 1300 East. Traffic is moving along smoothly here. So right before you get ready to get off the interstate, not tracking any major issues. Otherwise, if you take a look at I-80 eastbound, this is at milepost 136 here. This is in Salt Lake County. You can see traffic is moving up the mountain with no major issues at this time. That's the latest on your traffic and weather. Now let's get you back over to Matt and Alyssa.